So if I can now introduce our first speaker, please, that's Dr Julia Peck joining us from the University of Gloucestershire. And Dr Julia Peck is going to talk about university course in photography and give you an idea of what to expect. And if you're interested in photography, hopefully whet your appetite for courses in that area. Julia, over to you, please.
Thank you so much, John. So I'm Dr Julia Peck and I'm academic subject leader in photography, and I'm here to do a talk on what to expect in photography. So I will just share my screen. So taking a degree in photography is really not just about great images, although it is a lot about making really great images. It includes lots of other things as well. So we really aim to build your creativity to ensure that you leave skilled and with lots of different types of skills as well, and also to be fully prepared for the future. We start this process off by really thinking about your induction at the university. We hold a great induction here. The whole prep in terms of your future really starts with the induction process. And firstly, it's about getting to know the staff that you'll be working with, and also it's about getting to know the other students that you'll be working with as well. We really value this process because getting to know the other students is important. They will be your peers when you go on and leave university, and it may well be that actually you'll work with them in the long term for a very long time to come into the future. The induction is also about getting to know you as a person and finding out about your passions and interests, because they are really crucial to how you study photography and the kinds of things that you go on and develop and do. We really want you to be creative and to explore being creative in lots of different ways. We aim to build your creativity. We want you to take risks. We want you to try new things. We want you to engage with lots of different types of experiments. We want you to learn new processes. We also want you to learn new concepts and actually also learn how to work with context as well, because creativity rarely happens in a vacuum. Creativity often happens in a context. And of course, you might also be interested in what your audience thinks of your work. So we help to build your creativity, to explore your creativity, to find out who you are as a creative practitioner. We also want you to be skilled, and this is very important. You need technical skills to be a photographer. You need to be able to work across different contexts, and you need the right kinds of technical skills that's going to help you become a noted photographer in your field and to be the kind of photographer that other people want to employ for your work. Skills include an enormous range of things, both in terms of technical skills, practical skills, but also social skills as well. We also aim to ensure that you're fully prepared for the future, and we do this by really addressing employability. What do you want to do? Where are your passions? And then we look at, with you as an individual, the kinds of things that you might go on to do with that. So being prepared to show your work, being prepared to talk about your work, being prepared to meet new people and to network, being prepared to develop some business skills so that actually you can think about how you can market yourself, how you can position yourself as a creative that other people want to work with is really important, and that will be built into your course. The facilities where you study will be really important because they will often be the bedrock foundation of what it is that you learn how to do. At the University of Gloucestershire, we have 3 studios, we have analogue darkrooms, we have an amazing store of equipment, which students are fully able to borrow and make really good use of while they're students here. And of course, it means that you can access and learn how to use kit that you wouldn't ordinarily be able to afford. We also have film scanners for people who really love black and white and colour photography. And of course, we also teach a range of software to you, including the full Adobe suite and also Capture One. And you'll also be learning things like retouching and moving image as well. So one of the things that you'll find when you undertake a 3-year degree in photography is that you're not just assessed once at the end of the 3 years, or even just assessed at the end of the first year. Assessment tends to be fairly continuous in your degree. So most degrees are split into modules, so you'll have a certain number of modules to do each semester, and you'll probably need to pass all of the modules that you'll be undertaking. Each module will have a creative brief, you'll need to do some research, you'll need to look at some theory, but you'll also have opportunities for things like industry placements and finding out about the world of work. Feedback is often really continuous, so you get lots of guidance and support about what you're doing, how you're going, what kinds of things you're interested in, and we really take an interest in you as an individual as well. So to think a bit more about the skills that you'll be developing studio skills, darkroom skills, digital skills, moving image skills, and self-promotion and entrepreneurship. And you'll learn about these things in lots of different ways and at different levels. So you'll start a lot of these things at level 4, which is first year. And then in the second year and the third year, you'll have lots of opportunities to become really good at what you do. So if you love studio photography or retouching, for example, you'll have every opportunity to follow your passions and interests and become really great at that. If, on the other hand, you want to be a photojournalist, then actually you'll be able to build the skills necessary in order to become that kind of photographer instead. So feedback, as I mentioned, is pretty continuous, and it happens in lots of different ways. So I've already mentioned that you'll get to know your peer group really well, and they may well go on to be your long-term collaborators throughout your career. So that whole social aspect of the course, knowing your peers, knowing what they're interested in, is really crucial. And over time, one of the things that you're going to be learning is how to give each other feedback, because that's so important. If you can give each other really fantastic feedback, then when you leave university, you've got a pool of people you can draw upon for advice and support in terms of how your work and your career is going. So that social element is very important. Supporting each other is very important. Knowing how to give each other really quality feedback, also important. So help, encouragement and ideas will come through, not just from you, but from other people as well. So with any luck, you'll have opportunities for collaboration, whether that's in hanging an exhibition, undertaking a group project, undertaking some teamwork, working with members of staff. There'll be lots of opportunities for working together, for showing really great work. And actually, collaboration can often lead to some of the most fantastic work that you'll ever make. And you'll also have opportunities perhaps to collaborate with other people in context, maybe web designers, graphic designers, or other types of creativity as well. Over the course of the 3 years, one of the things that we'll really aim to do is to build your independence and to build the confidence that you need to be really independent as well. So there's a lot of emphasis on your vision, your ideas and your individuality, but being able to see that through in a way that other people find really attractive, and also feel that they would have great confidence in you. So you'll be building your ideas. And as you progress through the course, you'll find that you'll have much more opportunity to really think about what kind of project do I want to do, how do I want to do it, and how am I going to find a context and an audience for this. So you'll have every opportunity to follow your passions, whatever that happens to be. You might decide you want a career in the long term in retouching, for example, or working as a studio photographer, or being freelance or moving into education. There are lots of different opportunities that photography can lead to. The thing is to find things that you really love and you care about, because that kind of enthusiasm is really infectious. And if you have it, the chances are that other people will buy into it as well. So most photography courses have great industry contacts, and they're so important for you as students and for people coming into the world of photography. You need to learn how to network, but of course learning how to do that if there are no existing contacts is a really difficult thing to do. So those industry contacts can really help you prepare for the future. They can be an important part of your personal development, and they can also help you to think about your broader creative attributes. So not just can you use a camera and can you take a great photograph, but also what was your social interaction like? Can you sell yourself as a photographer? Can you pitch an idea and get an editor to take an interest in it and can to commit to commissioning you to seeing that idea through? So these industry contacts can give you a lot of feedback whilst you're on a course. The people that we have featured here include Tom Stoddard, Laura El-Tantawi and Alec Dudson, and we have many others that we draw upon as well, and they all positively feed into the student experience that they have whilst they're studying photography. So one of the things that you might look for as well when you're looking for a photography course is personal tutoring, because it's so important. Lots of things can happen during 3 years, but also your personal tutor is there to support you, both in terms of your personal creative development, but should anything go wrong, you've actually got that first point of contact to somebody to speak to in the university. So you'll probably be allocated a personal tutor at the start of your studies, and that person will be with you for the 3-year journey, looking at your personal development, will be supporting you through your study and your progression, and also thinking about your career development as well, and encouraging you and fostering you to build skills and development in areas that really interest you. One of the other things that you can expect to build as a skill is research. It's so important, and it's used in lots of different ways. So research skills will be used in most modules that you'll undertake at university, because you need to be informed about current creative practice. And if you're not, you're going to find it very difficult to situate yourself as a photographer. So you also need ideas, and sometimes actually we can all have a dry spell and wonder, what is it I'm doing? But actually, if you're looking around at what other people can do, it can help spark an idea of something that you really want to do. You do need to be knowledgeable. It's a really great thing to have when you're networking, being able to talk about photography and other types of creative practice in a knowledgeable way with other people actually helps with networking. So your research skills will be used both in practice and in the theory side of your courses. Theory is a really important thing to undertake while you're studying photography. So all courses will include some history and theory, and it's likely that you'll have to do that at all 3 years, at the first year, second year and third year. So you'll be required to formally study themes, movements and contexts. You'll also be introduced to different theoretical models, and we won't expect you to come with prior knowledge of these things, but we will expect you to engage with them and to think about, well, why am I doing this and how is it relevant? And actually there are lots of different ways in which this is relevant to you, and it can really help build and extend your practice, and it can also really help to fire ideas again. So you'll be reading some academic sources. You'll also be writing in academic English, and yes, we will teach you how to do it. And in the final year, it's likely that you'll undertake some dissertation. So that's an extended type of writing. At the University of Gloucestershire, it's approximately 7,000 words in length, and it probably sounds really scary at the moment, but actually we help at level 4 and level 5, the first and second year, to really build your skills in writing so that you're fully prepared to undertake the dissertation when you're a third year student. Now, there'll be lots of extra things that you'll do as a student, including course trips. We love taking students overseas because they're such fabulous experiences to meet new people. You get to know the other students in a whole different way because you'll be staying away with them. You'll also be able to experience different cultures, different places, different food, and they're genuinely exciting things to do. So every year we take students to Paris Photo, which happens in November, and we also take students to places like Berlin, Vancouver, and many other locations. They're truly exciting things to do. You'll often have a photography project to shoot whilst you're there, but you'll get all the excitement of being in a new location as well. I can promise you that you will definitely be challenged on your degree course. It's really important that everybody can be resilient. It's really important that you know how to process feedback. It's really important that you challenge yourself and that you decide to be the best photographer that you can be. And in order to do that, we will challenge you, and you will also challenge yourself. So I promise you, you will be challenged when you undertake a 3-year course in photography. So thinking about what's next, that's really important, and I can give you some top tips for this. The first one would be really to research the different photography courses available and to look around and to think about, where do I want to study? What are the staff like? Who are they? What kinds of skills and experience do they have? Do I want to work with them? But also have a look at what the course offers, what kind of content, what kinds of industry contacts do they have? And also have a think about, how can I prepare myself as well? And there are a couple of key things that you can do. I've mentioned a lot today that you do need those passions and interests. So have a think about, what do you love? What do you like photographing? Where do you like going? Where do you like being? Who do you like working with, or what do you like working with? And set yourself your own independent project on something and have a go at photographing it, because actually it will be probably the most important part that you can show to somebody when you come to apply. So it's highly likely that for a creative course, you will need a personal written statement, and talking about things in photography that you like in that personal statement will be really helpful. And then the other thing that you can do is mention your favourite photographers, and you could also say what your passions and interests are. Then when you come through to interview and you meet the staff and you show your work, part of your practical portfolio can include not just your college work, but also the things that you've done in your own time. So I'm going to finish here. I hope this has been a helpful introduction to what to expect on a photography course, and I will stop sharing the screen now.